341 against him. Right-handers just 216. And here is the leadoff man, Austin Brindling. A guy that really wasn't playing much beginning of this season, but had some good scrimmages on off days and finally just kind of worked himself into that lineup and is now anchoring out in center field for the South Carolina team. And he's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, some new faces in this South Carolina offense down the stretch with Breiling and Jackson and Reeves getting a chance to really run out there every day.
The 0-2 ground ball. They had a big shift on. Easily played there. That'll be the first out. As Vahiva Aloy stays in his spot, they move Sprague Lott over to the second base side of the bag. Tell you what, Vahiva Aloy, maybe a little slow out of the gates, getting comfortable, but he has been a consistent performer for this Arkansas team, not just defensively, but at the plate as well.
And they needed that. I mean, he had a monster freshman year at Sacramento State, and they were banking on a real impact bat. And he certainly has been that here in the second half of the season, especially for Arkansas, as he has led this team throughout the year in homers and ribbies.
Ethan Petrie now, 21 homers and 52 runs batted in. Petrie, the sophomore, 6'4", 235 out of the Land O'Lakes, Florida. 3 for 5 with a home run yesterday. Boy, and he goes down quickly.
Quick work by Mr. Bybee, who's just, we told you he's a strike thrower, and he's come out in complete command of the full arsenal here early, and this is a real bender, top to bottom yacker right under the barrel of Ethan Petrie. Does all he can do to try to extend the bat in the front part of the zone, but that is a nasty downer right there by Bybee.
Now Blake Jackson, 292 at the plate. Blake, the junior, from the great state of Texas. Started his career at McLennan Junior College in Waco. Working on his master's degree in sports and entertainment management. Well, that just misses inside. You know, I was watching Petrie, by the way, walk back to the dugout, and he started talking to his teammates. Obviously, you knew that was a breaking ball. Like, so what is he saying to them about, like, lay off the breaking ball? It's, I mean, like, what's the conversation like?
Yeah, you're trying to give him just a little bit. Did you see it? Did it look like something else and it ended up doing something different? You know, just whatever struck you about the way the ball came out of his hand, maybe the trajectory or the spin of the pitches.
That is ball 4. Blake Jackson sprints down to first. Now it's Cole Messina, the junior out of Summerville, South Carolina. 3 hits yesterday. He too had a home run, 3 runs batted in. Second team all-conference performer. But Cole was a first-team all-SEC performer a year ago. Put up some good numbers this year with a 320 average, 17 homers and 56 runs batted in. He's reached base in his last 14 games.
Man, consistent production behind the plate in this league, really at any level of baseball, is few and far between. When you get a guy that can really do damage and catch and throw, you got yourself one heck of a value behind the plate. Messina to play at an all-league level in back-to-back seasons. Remarkable. 17 home runs each of the last 2 years. Average above 300. Bunch of damage. Walks. You name it, this guy does it.
Two and one the count to Cole Messina. South Carolina has one SEC tournament title. That came back in 2004. Hogs won the title here in 2021 under that man, Dave Van Horn.
Good take.
Boy, way to lay off that pitch. That was big time take from Cole Messina. And now, after a quick start by Ben Bybee, it's 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Matt Hobbs is going to go have a word, because as sharp as he was to the first 2 hitters, it is going a little sideways here. You hate 2-out walks of any kind, but back-to-back 2-out walks. No bueno here from Arkansas right-hander as he tries to post a 0 here in the first.
Parker Nolan. Transfer from Vanderbilt, played 4 seasons with the Commodores. At 277 with 9 homers a year ago. He's at 266 with 3 homers this year. And there is the aforementioned Matt Hobbs out to the mound. Runs by LSU in that first game. Of course, South Carolina hit 4 yesterday. Gamecocks put together 10 runs on 14 hits. They had a 6-run 3rd inning to open it up on Alabama. That one is out into left center, and this will get the first run of the game home. Blake Jackson will score. They will hold up Messina at 3rd, and they're at the corners with 2 outs.
Amazing how quickly momentum can change. A South Carolina team that just scuffled down the stretch. Yesterday, they get off to a quick start. Now, with 2 outs and nobody on, you get a couple walks and a big 2-out RBI from Parker Nolan. Look at him control that barrel. Fastball just above the belt. Really flat move right into the back of that ball as he smokes it just left of center. And, of course, the characteristic of the Hoover Met. Huge gaps here, so opportunities to go 1st and 3rd and take extra bases. Not every day you see a catcher go 1st to 3rd on a ball left of second base, but Cole Messina going 1st to 3rd there for the Gamecocks just lets you know how far Peyton Holt had to run to get to that ball.
Kennedy Jones, 286 for Kennedy on the year. Kennedy 1 for 3 yesterday. Ground ball to 3rd. Sprague Lott. Well, that was a nice play. Did he get the out? Yes, they did.
Defined by how well that sinker works and how many ground ball outs he's inducing, because you look throughout the course of the year, there's been some high and some low lows. There's just not a ton of swing and miss, so he needs bad contact, and he's got to lean into that sinker to make it happen.
Kendall Diggs, 232 on the year. With a junior out of Kansas. And he has just struggled second half of this season. Matter of fact, young man has 6 homers and 33 RBIs, but all 6 of those home runs came in March, the last at the end of March against LSU. And nothing since. But he's a guy that sees the most pitches per plate appearance of any hitter in the league, over 4.5 pitches per at bat.
Yeah, and he's, you know, has a reputation as a feared hitter, led this team in ribbies last year. But really this year his greatest value has been those pitches seen in his walks. Well, when you have him in a run producing, meaning driving in runs, part of the lineup, 4, 5, or 6, like the walks don't sting as bad to the opposition, right? But you say, okay, what's his best skill? His best skill is seeing pitches and drawing base on balls. Let's put him first.
Ground ball to the right side. That is a foul ball.
Also, what I like about the move, it then allows Peyton Stovall to be in a position where he's probably coming up with more runners on base, which for their most talented veteran hitter is a very good thing for this offense.
$11 doubles on the year for Diggs. On a 3-2 pitch, chases one down in the zone, out number 1.
There's that cutter. So again, not a ton of swing and miss from Eli Jones, but when he needs something from a swing and miss standpoint, he goes to that cutter, which has about a 36% whiff rate, way higher than really everything else he features. And boy, was that well located there, right to the back foot of Kendall Diggs.
Peyton Stovall, the junior out of Houghton, Louisiana. Ground ball to first. That is a fair ball. That'll be out number 2.
Well, so far so good for Eli Jones. You get a foul ground ball, then you get a perfectly located cutter for a swing and a miss. Now a early count, top spinner first base, another low stress out. Good early signs if you're sitting in the South Carolina dugout.
Hudson White, the junior catcher. He's got an 11-game hit streak going right now. He's homered in 5 of his last 8 games. The transfer from Texas Tech. He's behind 0-2.
Another good sinker there from Eli Jones. That one more of arm side run than actual true sink, but nevertheless doing a nice job of working at that arm side of the plate against the right-handed hitting White.
Swing and a miss. How about that inning from Eli Jones? 1, 2, 3, making quick work of the Hogs. We played first.
Always like a pitching out.
And Talmadge LeCroy, South Carolina shortstop, out of Belton, South Carolina. He will look at a first pitch strike. Young man started the year over at third base, but because of just kind of a complete shift defensively, he's moved to shortstop and has been playing a solid short for South Carolina.
Yeah, you know, Mark Kingston told me before the game he feels like LeCroy's actually played short, maybe even better than he played third, even though that's the one where he's had the most reps. Interesting the way the dominoes have fallen for this South Carolina team here down the stretch. Will Tippett gets hurt. He comes out. They decide to go Cassis from first to third, LeCroy from third to short, Petrie from right to first.
Here's a ground ball out to short. Aloy. 2 down.
Then somebody had to go play right, so Blake Jackson goes to right. And, you know, a lot of times when somebody gets hurt, it's 1 for 1, right? We got a shortstop, we got hurt, let's plug in the next shortstop. But for South Carolina, it moved about 4 or 5 pieces. And as this game goes on, Tippett now back healthy. We'll probably see Tippett, if they have the lead late, enter as a defensive replacement, which kind of shifts everybody almost back to where they had been early in the year.
First pitch from Gavin Casas, driven out to left. Caught there by Ross Lovich. And a relatively easy inning there. For the current format, it started in 96, left in 97 for a year, and then been back ever since 1998.
Yeah, because there for a minute they were doing like just the divisions of their own tournament.
Yeah. Much better format here. How about next year, all 16 teams in a single elimination event? Wonder what that'll do in terms of how you manage your team for these guys in a single elimination all week.
Well, it'll all come down to the bubble again for some, you know, for some of these head coaches trying to manage their way around the bubble. But for the top 4, they're going to not play till they get a double bye, right?
Double bye, top 4, yes. So they won't play till Thursday.
So they can just go their normal rotation because the week before they would have been on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday schedule anyway.
Ben McLaughlin, this one's going to drop in for a base hit. So Ben starts the second off with a base knock after Eli Jones went strikeout, ground out, strikeout in the first.
Yeah, something good happening early for this Arkansas offense. McLaughlin, who's been very consistent contributor for this club throughout the year, lining one into left center, and here's Eloy, just the way they like it, up with somebody on base.
Wahiba Eloy, the Arkansas shortstop, 276 with 13 home runs, 54 runs batted in.
Eli Jones will upshoot fastball. Yeah, Eloy's got a kind of an interesting move. He starts with the hands kind of out and away from him and his feet very close together. It's interesting. Most toe tappers start wide, work back, and then forward. He actually goes forward twice. Watch this. Forward once, and then twice.
Boy, a little slow roller. Eli Jones fields, throws. They get the out at first.
Nice job fielding his own position right there. That was going to be a really tough play for whoever was going to make it on the left side of the infield. I'm not sure they get an out if Jones doesn't record it, but good job there, not panicking, picking the ball up with your bare hand, which you should always do as a fielder after you kick one, and then throwing a strike to Petry.
Jared Sprague-Lott. It's been his first 3 years at Richmond. Was a shortstop there with Richmond. Playing a bunch of third base with the Hogs. He looks at a strike.
He's been an all-league defender. We talked about all the great third basemen in this league, but you look at the SEC all-defensive team. Jared Sprague-Lott is your all-defensive team third baseman, and he has made some top-shelf plays throughout the course of this season.
And a top-shelf base hit to right field. Arkansas going to tie this game up as McLaughlin comes in to score.
Boy, wasn't that nifty. Talk about a nice piece of hitting. Cutter out over the plate, and watch him make his chest go down. Back knee, chest go down, so you can lengthen the coverage of the barrel. Watch how over the plate he ends up there on his follow-through. That's how you extend the barrel on pitches that are in the extreme parts of the strike zone, or maybe even off the plate. Just a beautiful piece right there.
Nolan Souza now checks in at the plate for his first appearance at the SEC tournament. 259 on the year with 7 homers for the freshman out of Honolulu, Hawaii. A designated hitter today. The Hogs finished up the regular season 12th in the conference in batting average, 269. Only hit 243 against SEC pitching. Nonetheless, won 20 games and just missed out on sharing a championship, but they did win the West. Picked up 40 wins again for the 7th consecutive season under Dave Van Horn. That is
Machine.
nuts.
Machine. They have built a machine in Fayetteville.
Swing and a miss, throw down to second, not in time. They do get the out at the plate. Stolen base for Jared Sprague-Lott, his third.
Well, you've seen him do the best he could here, because Lott gets a good jump, see him peeking in there. Watch the slide here, pull the arm back. The old swim move works. Usually when you show him your left arm, then pull it back and make sure the right hand gets to the back edge of the base. Sprague-Lott picks one up.
Now it's Peyton Holt. Peyton hitting .311 this year.
Peyton Holt, the artist of one of the best deep plays I've ever seen in baseball history, made quite a bit of noise.
In baseball history?
Baseball history.
Wow, that's loud.
Yes, one of the great dekes of all time out in center field.
Yeah, it was definitely solid.
I've talked to a lot of baseball people since then, and nobody that I've talked to has ever seen anybody pull it off the way he pulled it off with the double clutch and getting the runner from Florida to take the bait. Pretty remarkable stuff. I actually did a big league game the next week, the Brewers and Cubs, and the Brewers coaching staff was talking about it. That's how much people, that's how much of an impact that play had, or just kind of around baseball.
Ground ball. That one is off the foot of Eli Jones. Just kind of stopped it with his cleat. That'll end the inning. Stop it.
Did they make it to Hoover? And you put them together, and because of the timing, and we talked about the culture and the defense and all those kinds of things, they've put it together and they won the West. And it's pretty remarkable. And Hagen Smith, who was doing the chart there, Dave Van Horn, obviously, we talked about it last half, and he just built such a consistent machine. But there's Hagen Smith, a big reason they lead the league in most meaningful pitching categories, because he has been truly remarkable this year.
Arkansas won the SEC Western Division for the 5th time in the last 6 seasons. Brentries.
I think that's worthy of the label machine. Oh, I mean, to have won the West 5 out of 6 out of the 6.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, in that stretch, 3 national champions have come out of the West. And they've won the West. Wild.
Robbie falls behind to Ethan Petrie.
There's somebody getting hot down there in the pen.
South Carolina last year had put together a nice run. They won the regional, got sent to Florida for that super regional, and that first game, you and I were there, that first game was about as intense and well played as any game we've seen in a while. The electricity.
We did that together?
Again, for the 3rd time, wondering if we
That was me and you?
I'm glad I leave such an impression.
Oh, yeah, that was you.
Just so you know, Berkey asked me if I worked a super regional with him just 9 months ago.
No, I asked you if you did the Southern Miss and Tennessee one. You're like, no, I was with you. I was like, oh, yeah. We had a blast.
Yeah, it was such a great time. Petrie at 305 with 21 home runs. Ground ball through the 5-6 hole. Little chopper. Brenling will stop at second base, and with nobody out, South Carolina has 2 runners on base.
Now, Mark Kingston will tell you, when Petrie and Messina go, their offense is as good as anybody in the country. If you can neutralize those 2 players, you certainly have a chance to slow this Gamecock offense down. But when they get going, good things happen. Petrie just a single in the 6 hole, but still, now you set up Jackson, Messina, and Nolan with opportunities here to get the Gamecocks back out in front.
Yeah, Blake Jackson strolls to the plate, pops up a bunt.
It's falling.
They're going to try to get the out at second.
That could have been real dandy if Petrie could have possibly read that one down, which is basically impossible. Because it really is it's a kind of a Bermuda Triangle spot where that ball landed. Stovall's headed over to go field first base. Look, he's headed to first, thinking Bibey's going to catch it, and then neither one of them can go, and Petrie just gets caught in the middle.
Cole Messina.
Do you get a sack when only one player advances?
I don't think so,
both
because
players have to advance.
I think if one advances, I think that accomplishes a goal.
I need confirmation on that.
I'm not confirmation enough.
No, fielder's choice. Fielder's choice, Dave. You're wrong.
No, he should. He moved a runner to third base. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it needs to be changed.
Call Abner.
Right.
Hey,
he wouldn't be standing right there if that guy didn't lay the. Maybe he tried to pop the bunt up in that little triangle.
So then, what? It's Petrie's fault.
Yeah, Petrie should have been on the go. He should have known that thing was going down. I'm just kidding, but.
Did you know that if you double steal and the back guy gets thrown out, the lead guy does not get a bag?
You've told me
so
that.
It's a similar thing. They both have to.
If you were the guy stealing third, you'd want that rule changed, right?
Well, I've had to have that conversation a few times with the backside runner. I need you to stay with me, bud.
Right.
I need you to stay. We're trying to steal some bags here now. You're messing with my pocketbook. Like, I need you to stay with me.
Shocking that you would have a conversation with that guy.
I would never do that.
Messina with 2-2 count. Runner goes, ground ball, hit right back where Holt was standing. Stovall was standing, and that'll get a run home. And South Carolina reclaims the lead at 2-1.
Did I just see what I think I saw? Was that a first and third hit and run?
Runner was in motion.
Runner was definitely in motion. We get a backside ground ball. Now, maybe that was the old run and hit, and they just trust Messina to do the right thing. Let's see here if Jackson's peeking in. He's absolutely peeking in, and you talk about execution at its highest level. The old backside ground ball. Stovall vacates his defensive position. Messina hits it right where he was standing. Gamecocks playing a little baseball here early in this one.
Bobby's day is over as Arkansas now trails 2-1.
Mix. Oh, boy.
98. Parker Nolan just wore it.
Whoa. So you want to play baseball. Can you stick your nose out over home plate with the dude throwing a hungy? I mean, you talk about one of those uh-oh moments. I mean, Parker Nolan's sitting there for a safety squeeze, and this ball's thrown. Oh, it hits him in the wrist. Whoa. He shook that off like, I thought it hit him in the thigh.
Yeah.
Wow, that is scary stuff there.
Boy, Kennedy Jones almost wore that one at 98.
Ugh.
Bases are loaded. '99.
This is when you have the conversation from time to time about pitchers putting some stuff on the ball to improve their grip. Like, there's a certain degree where a hitter wants the pitcher to have as good a grip as he needs to command the baseball. And when a dude's throwing 99, you are like, dude, make sure you got control over that thing. Whatever you need to do.
There's a strike at 98.
98 was some serious arm side run.
Jones has 15 RBIs when the bases are loaded this year. That is a situation now. He has 8 home runs. Now it's 2-2.
That looked like a little cutter there at 93.
Maybe throws that slider that he gets so many strikeouts on.
Yeah, that one looked a little tighter.
Came back with 101.
Again, you look at his usage, it's 76% fastball, and he's throwing the fastball, which is probably why when he does throw the slider, he gets swings and misses, just because guys are so geared up for 100 and the regularity with which he throws it.
Well, he's trying to get a good grip on that.
Get as much rosin as you need there, big fella.
Swing and a miss. That is out number 2.
Back up, breaking ball there. something at 90 miles an hour. Yeah, that's just that is like a gyro slider that just goes the other way. Look at this thing.
You could even see the look on Fouch's face, like that wasn't where that was supposed to be.
Whoops. Look at Eli's like, I mean, Kennedy's like, what are we doing there? What the heck was that? This dude's throwing 100 and he's got a backup slider. It's not fun.
Dalton Reeves now steps in. Bases loaded. 2 outs in the inning. Jackson's over at third. Messina's at second. Parker Nolan's over at first. Ground ball right to the second baseman Stovall, and he'll make a play, and Fouch gets out of that. South Carolina does pick up. He will be a center of attention for sure, and something says another guy that might, when the postseason gets going, getting a little more attention, is a guy named Charlie Condon. Not that he needs any more.
Well, well, we'll give him all he wants. He's earned it.
It is.
Shame we only got 1 day of him here in Hoover.
Yeah, he had an 0 for days. Average went down from 431 to what
50 something.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah. He's finished up at 430. What was he? 431. Let me get that number out. What he finished up here. Condon.
We know how the ball flies at Foley all year, but especially when it gets warm. You think about some of the numbers. I remember Jeff Keppinger had some crazy, like 5 home runs in regional in 2001. Of course, Gordon Beckham put the exclamation point on an incredible career when he took Georgia to their last World Series, where they were almost won the whole thing. With Condon in a home regional, like he might get to 40 next weekend. And you know, Georgia's ability to continue to survive and advance in this tournament will certainly be a story to watch, just because they have an exciting team, but also as Condon tracks down 40 home runs, and he's got a chance to be the number 2 guy all time on that list.
Brandon Larson has the SEC record at 40 home runs with LSU.
Berkman with 41.
Yeah.
I don't think he's catching Incaviglia.
Yeah,
I don't think he's catching Inky.
That 1985, that was the same year he hit the home run record, and that's when Dave Magadan set the all-time
batting average.
Same year.
Of course, there was a difference in the amount of games you could play. So Inky did it in 75 games. The pace that Condon's on as far as home runs per game is very similar to what Incaviglia did that year.
That one bounces off the shin guards of Cole Messina. You think Charlie Condon is the leader in the clubhouse for the Golden Spikes Award?
I would say so for sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of worthy candidates out there. A few of them in this league. Jack Caglione and Christian Moore. I think Travis Bazzana out at Oregon State certainly has had a worthy season.
Diggs flies out to Brentling in center field.
And Jamie Arnold at Florida State's had an incredible season as well. But Hagen Smith and Chase Burns have been all-world for their respective teams. Hagen Smith, he just literally since the first start of the year, since then, he has not had a bad one. Not even anything that would resemble a bad one.
Yeah, wasn't it like he was pitching in like 38-degree weather or something that first start? Was just nasty.
Yeah, just a weird deal. Since then, this very next start, he punched out 17 against Oregon State, who's could end up being a top 8 seed. 17.
That one slapped down to left center, and it's sliding away from Brentling. It'll be picked up by Kennedy Jones, and that'll be a double for Peyton Stovall. His 11th of the year. That just had some slice action on it and just out of the reach of Austin Brentling.
Boy, but he was wide open going after this one. Stovall stays down and threw a ball that was a tough pitch to hit. And you talk about letting it all out. Brentling just full extension, covers a bunch of ground and just doesn't come up with that one. But great job there by Kennedy Jones backing him up. And you got the freedom to dive for that ball when you know your corner guy's got your back. What an effort right there by Austin Brentling.
Here is Hudson White. Transfer from Texas Tech. one of 4 D1 transfers to come into this program in the offseason for Arkansas. Pops that one up. Talmadge will make the catch, and South Carolina getting off the field. No damage done despite the double. Ole Miss Mississippi State game last night, a true pitcher's duel in an era of a lot of home runs, and it was the home run that produced the runs, but a 2-1 walk-off victory for Mississippi State on a 2-run shot by Hyzak.
Heartbreaker for the Rebels, elation for the Bulldogs, whose fans also love to come and spend the week here in Hoover. But what a great start to the tournament yesterday was.
Talmadge, Lee Croy 0 for 1, 241 on the year now. Gamecocks really needed a win. I mean, you can't understate it just from a psychological standpoint. This team had lost 6 straight. There is Chris Veach, who came in and threw 5 innings in relief yesterday and had one of the best changeups I have seen in college baseball in a while. Kevin Kopps had this pitch. I don't even remember what we called that thing. He used to throw it. Just
cutter,
moved.
But yeah,
it was darting this way, that way. Well, his changeup at 73, and he changed the velocity. It was 73 to 77 miles an hour, and it was moving like a knuckleball.
Just dancing all over the place.
And Alabama just had no chance.
Yeah, and Veach has done that. When he's on with that pitch, it's just kind of a unicorn in the game. It's almost like a split finger, which everybody's trying to throw these days in the big leagues. You just don't have a lot of experience laying off pitches like that.
And boy, did South Carolina need some help out of that bullpen yesterday, and they turned to him and got more than they bargained for, I think. Swing and a miss. This is what it looked like with Chris Veach yesterday on the mound for South Carolina.
You talk about the bottom dropping out of that thing. I mean, it almost has like at times it almost has like a left-handed curveball look to it. It's just, it drops so much and runs to the arm side. Former position player.
And look, it's not like he doesn't have a fastball. He throws his fastball 93, 94 miles an hour. But he just lives off that changeup. He said he went in a game earlier this year, he said he threw it 7 consecutive times.
Reminds me a little bit of Trevor Hoffman. I mean, it's just one of those deals when he's throwing it right, it almost doesn't even matter if you know it's coming.
Sharply hit right past the diving Stovall into right field. So Gavin Casas with a base hit out of the 9-hole.
Well, South Carolina's got such an interesting resume. We talked about it today. I think with their win yesterday, they're safely in. But nobody in the country has played all 7 of the top RPI teams in the country. They've played all 7 of them. So A&M, Arkansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, Clemson, and Georgia.
That is crazy.
They played all 7. Their record not against those teams is 29-8, which is it's kind of a weird metric to use, but you know they've really taken care of business against not the highest end teams on their roster, and you know certainly taking their lump. But they did beat Kentucky in a series. They beat North Carolina in a midweek game. So they haven't completely bottomed out against those teams, but it's just fascinating when you look at the way that some of the schedules shake out. And when you think about where South Carolina is, the fact they play Clemson in the midweek and they play North Carolina in the midweek. Excuse me, they play Clemson on the weekend pre-conference for a 3-game set. Now this year they only got 2 of those games in, but certainly a challenging non-conference schedule as well.
1 out for Austin Brinling. Fouls it straight back. That one 98 miles an hour. Line drive caught out there and left by Lovich.
That ball's hit right on the screws there by Brindley. Arkansas wisely playing a touch oppo there against a left-handed hitter. Lovich just standing there ready to make a play on a ball that was pieced up pretty nicely by Austin Brindley.
Ethan Petrie now steps in. Well, you know where Fouch stands. He's got a lot of body language going on out there. A lot of guys you can't really tell if they're frustrated or not, but there are a few pitches that Fouch has certainly stepped around the mound. You know where his head is. Has to be happy with that pitch in there for a strike at 99.
Boy, it's just consistent velocity. Again, the average velocity on the season is just a click below 98. See if Petrie can time one up here. Talk about a talented hitter. Maybe not quite as loud a season as he produced last year, but still so consistent. I mean, to hit 20 home runs in back-to-back years, your first 2 years on campus, make no mistake about it, this dude's got future big leaguer written all over him. Got a chance to go in the top 10 picks, I think, next year as well, depending on how things progress from here.
Fouls that one straight back.
I remember when he first arrived, Mark Kingston was comparing him to Pat Burrell, and I thought, whoa. But you look at the body and you look at how long the barrel stays in the zone, and then just the raw power and the ability to hit the ball out from gap to gap. You can see where those comps land favorably. Whew. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think it was important. I think we've talked about it all week, all the teams here, about we all kind of think we're already in the NCAA tournament because of the resumes, but we ended the season on a little bit of a lull and played some great teams, and so it's just important to get a win and get that good mojo going again.
Yeah.
I think that's really important for the psyche of a team.
King, we talked about a little bit earlier in the broadcast how you went kind of offense for defense at some spots, and it's actually turned out very well. I mean, maybe a little surprisingly so on the defensive side, but has that allowed you to add some extra hitters? What goes into a decision behind that from an analytical standpoint?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, Chris. Obviously, who do you have on the mound, and are they a ground ball pitcher? Are they a fly ball pitcher? Who are you facing that day? Left, is it a ride guy? Is it a sink guy? Do you want to go lefty? Do you want to go righty? At the end of the day, it's about run prevention and run creation, and you just have to try to find the best formula on that day to give yourself your best chance to win.
Coach, yesterday we saw Chris Veach come out of the bullpen. I know he's right there next to you. I mean, it was as nasty a changeup as I have seen in a long time. What was it like from your perspective to watch him kind of mow him down yesterday?
Well, it was very important for us. Obviously, it was very important for us, and he gave us his best outing of the year on a really big stage at a really big time. The plan for him was to get him in there for 2 innings, maybe 3, 6 to 9 outs. But when you're pitching that well and you're cruising, you got to give the guy a chance and let him keep going. And he gave it to us all the way at the end of it, all the way to complete the game, and that was huge for us.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch him pitch. Listen, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Go back to business. Thanks for joining us as always. Good luck rest of the way.
Okay, thank you.
King.
There he is. Chris Veach doing his thing. Now helping his teammates out. And a 3-2 pitch off the mark. And that'll be a leadoff walk.
A glimpse into the skipper's mindset on filling out his lineup card, and people think, oh, I don't know, let's try this order. Like, no, there's a little more to it than that, especially with the defensive side of things. Because if you like he said, if you got a guy on the mound, I think LSU did this a lot last year when.
Well, they're going to go to second. Actually, it's going to go out to center field. They had a double play ball right back to Eli Jones, and now they're at the corners first and third. What a break for Arkansas with nobody out.
So normally in a situation like this, the shortstop would be covering on a ball back to the mound. But you'll see here, Parker Nolan is going to be the guy covering. And Eli Jones looks to the base like he's expecting LeCroy to be there. And instead, Nolan is the one that comes. And it's like Jones just like a little off guard and just totally sails it.
Corners, Hogs down a run. There's a chopper just foul. Sprague Lott had a single and RBI, stole a base his first time up back in the second inning. Jared Sprague Lott, of course, transferred in from Richmond. Didn't have a chance to play in any NCAA tournaments while he was at Richmond. He did play in the Little League World Series, though, back in 2014 on the Mid-Atlantic region team. Pops it up. Kennedy Jones charges, and there will be no tag. This one's cut off, and runners will stay right where they are.
Big pitch right there. And when you get a sinker baller on the mound, now you're always just one well-executed sinker, two-seamer in on the hands of a righty, or maybe fading away from a left-hander, running off the field and pitching around that air earlier in the inning.
Nolan Souza 0 for 1. ERA just a tick over 4.
So we talked about the changeup of Chris Veach. How about the changeup of Ty Good against the left-handers this year, Dave? Lefties are 2 for 36 with 16 strikeouts against his changeup. So you might think it's a little weird, him coming in to face Souza, but it looks like they're. And how about this? Arkansas is going to go pinch hitter. Very interesting.
Ryder Helfrich. You're going to go with a right-handed bat, the freshman catcher.
They saw what we saw. This dude does very well versus lefties.
Your attention, please, for Arkansas now batting. Number 27, Ryder Helfrich.
So righty's hitting about 100 points higher versus Ty Good than left-handers.
Starts him off speed. Helfrich behind 0-1. Ryder, 200 hitter on the year. Has played quite a bit as a freshman. 27 games, 23 starts, 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Does have 3 doubles. And he's quickly behind 0-2.
Couple unique weapons South Carolina has in their bullpen with Veach and Good, with just advanced changeups. You just don't see a ton of those in college baseball.
That one's out to left. Kennedy Jones will make the catch. This time they're going to send the runner. Here's the throw, not even close. And Arkansas has tied it up on the sacrifice fly from Ryder Helfrich.
Arkansas continue to show you why they're able to produce. Watch him go get this ball. So fold on the curveball. His right knee almost touches the ground. Watch the right knee. I mean, you talk about extending yourself out to put bat on ball and to try to get a run home. Did a great job holding that barrel off there. The follow through almost looks like Jordan Spieth on a wedge shot where the left elbow just kind of keeps the barrel square so the ball stays elevated.
So you teach that swing in the cages off a tee? You working on that a little bit?
I don't think you're working on that one. That's just kind of an athlete figuring out how to solve a problem. But when coaches yell, hey, man, move the ball, like get the runner in, that's what it looks like right there of just kind of however I got to do it. I'm going to prevent a rollover to third base and try to get this ball airborne to the outfield.
Good job by the youngster, just a freshman.
Yeah, big spot.
Tied at 2, 2 outs, 2-0 count to Peyton Holt now. Make it 3-0. Peyton Holt on the SEC all-defensive team. Peyton Holt started the year in the lineup, then saw his time kind of diminish a little bit, but now it's become an everyday player again, really over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, you know, you go viral on social media, you have to stay in line.
Right.
DVH knows how to sell tickets.
DVH's been doing that a long, long time. 22nd season at Arkansas. Of course, got his degree from Arkansas, 1988. Was at Nebraska before taking over this Arkansas program from Norm DeBryan. It's in there for a strike, 1-1. We'll talk to him next half inning.
Took Nebraska to the 2001 College World Series behind Shane Comini.
Another good change up there. It's 1-2.
He actually mentioned Shane Comini when we asked him if he'd ever seen anything like Hagen Smith. He said, well, he's the best one I've had since I went all the way back to Comini in 01.
We'll roll over to the right side. It'll be a foul ball. I mean, they have had some dudes on the mound over the years under Dave Van Horn. Some real dudes.
Well, I mean, the Golden Spikes won 3 years ago. So, but yeah, from a starting pitcher standpoint, obviously Kevin Kopps was just kind of a unicorn, a reliever that could carry that kind of workload and give you that kind of depth.
Hagen Smith. Oh, has been so good, and so was that pitch right there. Boy, Ty Good just completely every single year, but you continue to win. I'm just curious, like, can you put your finger on what makes this team successful? Is there something about this team that sticks out?
Well, obviously, you know, we can pitch a little bit. You know, we went through a little bit of little slump maybe the last couple of weekends. Had some injuries, some tired arms and stuff, but we play really good defense for the most part. We don't make too many mistakes, and you know, for the most part, we throw strikes. And when we do that, you think about today that both of their runs that have scored have walked, and you know, and the guys play hard every day. They show up. We appreciate their effort.
Coach, we were showing a graphic earlier of the consistency with which you guys have played over the last 7-8 seasons, and you've won the West 5 out of 6 times. Do you ever come here to Hoover? And I know you get the first day off. You ever come here and pinch yourself a little bit over the run you guys have been on?
Well, we talked about it a little bit. That you know, it's important if we're in a division, we want to win it. You know, guys come and they want to win. But yeah, when you get here and you get, the good thing is you get a bye.
Yeah.
You get to rest a little bit, and it seems like we always finish on the road. So, you know, we get here early, and it can be a little difficult. But you know, we almost look a little rusty right now. You know, when you look at it, we haven't played since Saturday, and you know, hopefully we'll kick it into gear a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we think about it and we talk about it, but we don't harp on it. We don't talk about winning championships and other things. You know, we discuss it in the fall, what we're trying to do, but we don't want to put that kind of pressure on them. We just want the guys to play.
Well, it's been a nice run for you. I mean, 7 straight years of 40-plus wins. It's been fun watching your teams play, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
DVH, he is, I'll say it again, I like all these guys, but, man, he's one of my favorites. Maybe it's just because of longevity. Ooh, that ball smoked. Messina out to center field. Does the park hold it? No! Straight away, center field. Cole Messina. 107 miles an hour off the bat. .419 feet.
You can have some fun after that one, Cole. Ooh-wee, that was a loud swing of the bat. I mean, the contact was ringing through the stadium. Messina gets a ball up and out over the plate, and you know you compressed it when you kind of stroll into first. Love the way he gathers and gets ready there. He almost starts his body in a position that's totally opposite of where he wants it to eventually land once he separates, and then the juice to ride it out of here to dead central, 420 feet, right back through the middle of the field. South Carolina continues to swing the bats confidently.
Coyle just checks into the game for Arkansas on the mound and hits a batter and then gives up that 2-run blast. I guess you hit one to straightaway center out here. You're never sure that it's out of the ballpark at this place.
You got to really know your yard there.
Second home run of the tournament for Cole Messina. He's now 5 for 6 with 6 runs batted in. 405 to straightaway center here at the Met. Parker Noland 1 for 1. Parker singled in the first, picked up an RBI and hit by a pitch in the third.
Still blown away how Nolan wore 99 off his wrist and like
shook it off like nothing.
Yeah, I mean that looked like the part of the wrist that's pretty vulnerable too, but thank goodness he's good.
Jared Sprague-Lott moves over to kind of the second base spot. Now he'll jog back to third after the strikeout of Parker Noland. Here is Parker Coyle, the left-hander out of Edmond, Oklahoma. 17th appearance on the year, averaging about an inning of relief work per outing. 22 strikeouts, 25 hits allowed for Parker Coyle. That ball's hit sharply.
Tough play.
Aloy read it well. 2 down.
That was not an easy play just simply because he's catching it right on the lip of the grass. And sometimes as an infielder, you can almost talk yourself into thinking a bad hop's coming, but Aloy did a nice job of just trusting his hands and finishing the catch on a ball that can get a little tricky when you're catching it right there on the seam of the grass.
Dalton Reeves 0 for 2 today. I would say the addition of Aloy has been a good one for this Arkansas team. A hot commodity in the transfer portal. Arkansas able to land him. Goes to show you can play just about anywhere and they'll find you. I mean, he was at Sacramento State.
Oh yeah, you had double-digit home runs as a freshman playing shortstop. It doesn't matter where you are, you're going to have interest.
He had 376 last year, 14 homers, had 88 hits, and was the Western Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a slow start for Aloy, but once he found his footing, he's been a consistent producer. Just seems to be had a little bit of that clutch gene. So many big hits this year for Arkansas. I'm sure next year they're hoping there'll be a jump there, specifically with swing and miss. 51 strikeouts on the year leads the team. I guess he's a couple behind Kendall Diggs, but you know, most guys make a big jump from year 1 to year 2 in the Southeastern Conference.
There is ball 4 to Dalton Reeves. He'll stroll down to first with 2 outs.
The first out, number 5, Thomas Leroy.
Coyle known for throwing strikes, top 10 in the country in strike percentage. He's got a hit by pitch and a walk so far this inning. Not exactly what they've come to expect from Mr. Coyle.
Now it's Talmadge LeCroy. He's 0 for 2 today. His average sits at 240. Fouls that one off. Big swing and a miss. Talmadge LeCroy, of course, played some third base, moved to short. Some of those changes defensively you have documented today, but also a catcher playing shortstop.
That's a nice little carrying tool. Somebody can play middle infield and catch.
I keep thinking about Kyle Farmer, who played shortstop at Georgia, but got drafted, and they immediately turned him into a catcher. Catched all through the minor leagues, got to the big leagues, and then they move him back to the infield, and he was playing shortstop at second base. That one's out to center field, and a long run there, and catch is made by Peyton Holtz. No, we're not. That was the last time we're going to say it right there. It's done. That was it.
I'm over it.
Now it's a matter of where they're going to be seated.
That's right. And can they work themselves to a 2 seed? Be interesting.
I think there are a lot of regionals out there that hope they do, so that they're not the 3 seed, because I know the 2 and the 3 meet, I know, on the first day, but what happens is now you get another really good team as a 2 seed if LSU goes as a 3 seed.
That's right.
Now your regional is
Loaded.
right.
Well, and I mean, I know it sounds simple, but even at the least, just that first game being home.
Right. A minor detail, but yet a big detail.
Yeah.
Ty Good working to Kendall Diggs. Kendall in the leadoff spot, 0 for 2 today. Struck out, flew out. That is a foul ball.
Heck of a throw right there. We need to make that play, though. Rifled that ball over the left field wall, and then we didn't finish the catch. Show it off. I like it. Oh, we still haven't corralled that ball. There it is.
Popped him up, right side. Parker Nolan. Boy, it looked like he lost it for a second. Saw that yesterday afternoon, the same time. So some changes in order for South Carolina defensively as Parker Nolan working that one to make the catch, shielding us. Oh, there it was.
He lost it and then refound it because Petrie never saw it. Petrie now back out in right field, and Petrie was not going to get there. When it looked like Nolan lost it, I was thinking that ball had a chance to fall, but fortunately for South Carolina, Nolan relocated it.
Gavin Casas goes from third to first. Petrie goes from first to right field. Will Tippett checks in. This is kind of that defensive lineup. And Talmadge LeCroy slides from short to third. Brett Jackson over in left.
A little earlier than I would have anticipated it.
Peyton Stovall 1 for 2 today. doubled his last time up.
Stovall, such an interesting story. Had a chance to be a top 50 pick, maybe even a top 30 pick out of high school. Decided to forego that and come to Arkansas. And, you know, freshman year went fine, finished really well in the College World Series. And last year, hurt his shoulder, was out, came back this year, got injured again to start the season, but has finally really been able to produce at the level people anticipated throughout the course of his junior year. It's going to be interesting to see where he ends up in the draft, because, you know, we're all big fans of guys betting on themselves, coming to college and enjoying this incredible experience of being a part of this great game of college baseball, especially at a place like Arkansas.
Popped him up left side. This is a long run for Lee Croy and Brett Jackson. It'll be Jackson in foul territory. Boy, they had a shift on
To get to that one.
And here is Hudson White now. Go to 3-0. Yeah, get a new baseball.
Yeah, that one didn't work.
That one just doesn't know the strike zone is. Ty Good, the transfer out of the College of Charleston. As he issues the 4-pitch walk to Hudson White. 4 years at the College of Charleston for Ty Good. He was a 2023 CAA Pitcher of the Year. First team 2 years in a row. Second all-time at the College of Charleston with 25 wins. Third all-time in strikeouts. Got his degree in communications.
That'll get you noticed by the Gamecocks. You post those kind of numbers,
You know,
just down the road.
one of our esteemed producers, Billy Palladino.
Esteemed?
Well, he likes to refer to he likes to refer to the College of Charleston as the College of Knowledge.
Okay. Esteemed.
How about it? One of our producers at ESPN, Billy Palladino.
Yeah, I know him. The College of Knowledge, huh?
That's what he says.
Okay.
That is a beautiful place, old school down there in Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, it is a gorgeous place. Chad Holbrook, former South Carolina head coach, running that program.
Running it well. College of Charleston right back in the tournament conversation again this year.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. Plans for a new ballpark down there. Look at that! Just look at a Vol fan taking care of a Vol fan right there. That's how you do it right there.
Keep it in the family.
Is that what they do in Tennessee? Just
Keep it in the family.
Right.
That's right.
Got our ball. We're getting out of here.
Back to the tailgate.
Just like a Tennessee fan.
Easy. No, he's getting a picture.
We have to go all the way up there to get our picture, though. Popped him up. It's going to stay in the infield. How much Lee Croy makes the catch. Good job by Ty Good.
Who's going to be the overall #1. And it'll be interesting to see if one team has a drastically better week this week, if that ends up being maybe what carries the day. And do you want to be the #1? That's a question worth asking.
Gavin Casas rips it out to center field, but Peyton Holt there to make a catch as Jake Faraday enters the game. His first pitch blistered back up the middle, but takes the out. Yeah, #1 seeds. Hadn't been a good run for #1 seeds.
Has not. So something tells you, normally you'd be, hey, we're the #1 seed. But like, I think this year Kentucky and Tennessee might play a little game of you
Nah,
take
you
it.
have it. Nah, you know what? Kentucky, you had a great year. You take it.
You guys do it.
And Kentucky. No, you guys beat us 2 out of 3. You take it.
You're also at the point in time this thing's going on now for this whole century where somebody's got to do it at some point, right?
Since 1999, no number 1 seed has ever won the College World Series.
Correct. So, I mean, we're at the point where the law of averages has to take over at some point. Somebody's going to do it.
The do factor.
Yeah, the do factor. There you go.
Oh, 2 on Austin Brindling.
Of course, North Carolina's had a fantastic year. You wonder, if they run through the ACC tournament, can they jump a team or two on that list?
That misses a little bit down in the zone. Brindling 0 for 2, his average down to 311, fouls that one off.
Crazy thing about Kentucky's resume, they have 21 quad 1 wins. I mean, the next closest is Texas A&M at 17. It's a huge number.
Oh, Brindling hanging in there. Haven't seen anything in terms of plans for Arkansas in game 2. There is a walk issue with 1 out to Brindling. Wonder when Hagen Smith's day may be.
Yeah, well, he's charting. That usually means tomorrow. Looks like he's taking it very seriously, too.
You're saying some guys don't really take that job?
Well, I mean, how do you think KP charted?
I don't know that he did.
Do you think Ben even was asked to chart?
No, Ben was asked to go get foul balls. He tells a story when he was.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
What?
And he would say, because he would say to Skip Bertman that, Coach, I don't need to do that. And he says, I need you to go get that ball. We need that ball. It's a new ball. We need that ball. I want you to sign. He'd say, I want you to sign some baseballs. Put your name on there and go get the ball and hand the kid an autographed baseball with your name on it so we can get the new one back. That's what he made Ben do.
So he'd take the old one, sign it.
Right. The one that's all beat up, right? A BP ball, sign it, and then go trade it with somebody out there to get the new ball back because they didn't have enough new balls.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yes.
Bertman, that's how he built the place.
That's
and yeah, we got Todd Walker calling. Who do you call the greatest coach of all time?
Oh yeah, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso,
greatest coach of all time. Never won a championship.
Come on,
and it was on TV. He never won a championship.
He never won a fake championship.
Yeah, right. I know. 2 outs now. Brett Jackson strolls to the plate.
Ted Lasso.
I'm going to ask Ben that if he ever charted a game in college.
There's a lot of things I'd like to say right now. How many? Uh-oh.
Boy, that one gets all the way
behind the tarp.
Brindling kind of stopped at second.
Well, yeah, that must be the ground rule. Just one base from where you started, because he was going to get to third easy. Yeah. That's actually a bad break for South Carolina. He would have easily gotten to third base with that ball wedged behind the tarp. A little glimpse of what didn't happen in the first game when that ball hit Brandon Cooper in the leg.
Our first base umpire took one on the chin, kept the ball from rolling over there. And a swing and a miss. 0-1 on Blake Jackson.
Tell you what, this Jake Faherty's got a nice arm. Fastball up 96, 97 miles an hour, 89 mile an hour cutter. Hey now.
Ball's ripped out to right. Kendall Diggs is there. Makes the catch, and that'll do it for South Carolina.
Out of there in game 1.
Alloy will lead things off. The Arkansas shortstop 0 for 2 today.
They did win that game, though, that Hagen Smith started. Took them 11 innings. They didn't actually score off Smith, but they won the game.
You hear all the time, like, we got to get such and such starter out of the game. Well, that's hard to do when usually you're saying that about the starter, because not many people have.
No,
Especially with Hagen Smith. Nobody got him out of the game. Averaging over 17 strikeouts per 9 innings for Hagen Smith.
Yeah, his pitch count got him out of the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the consistency with which he threw up zeros in this league, I think it's easy to take for granted a little bit just because of guys like Condon and Kaggs and Christian Moore are playing every day and making headlines every day. But you just don't want to lose sight and appreciation of what Hagen Smith put up this year.
Hey, the T-Mobile hats back out in full force. They got those out last night down the ballpark.
How do we feel about those, Dave?
Got to have a big head to wear those. Alloy strikes out. See, I mean, this is what I'm talking about when you look at. See, Tom Hart, Todd Walker. That's a good look.
Tom's doesn't fit.
Boy, when the sun goes down in Hoover, you don't know what's going to happen.
That should make the RV for T-Dub.
Here's Jared Sprague-Lott. Yeah, you got to get that thing fit just right. Get you one of those before we get out of here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Popped him up to the right side. Parker Nolan will make that catch. 2 down.
Number 27, Tyler Hilton.
What do you think?
Oh my God.
I'll flip the lid a little bit. I might just rock it.
I mean, is that what we're doing?
I mean, I can go lid down, or I can flip it. Gives me a little better vision.
I'll give you an extra shot aside if you wear that for 18 holes of golf at some point.
First of all, you don't give me any, so how would you give me an extra one?
Touche.
Let's get that stuff.
Chris Brooks, the only guy in America that doesn't believe in the World Golf Handicap system.
Oh, I do, just not when we play.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody wins, somebody loses, Dave.
Not if you're playing with Kyle Peterson.
No, I play him straight up too. And if he wins, he wins. It's fine. It's like if he wants to race me, we're going to start at the same place and we'll finish at the same place. And whoever gets there first wins. No handicaps.
Helfrich.
Would you like to see me and KP race?
I would. I think that would be awesome. Also if he's only wearing his flip-flops.
Well, that's right. He wants to play me in golf in flip-flops. We'll see if he races me in flip-flops.
And that one is off the plate. Ty Good thought he had a strike. Instead, Helfrich will wind up at first base.
This thing's comfortable. Like, I think I could play golf.
I mean, are you seriously going to wear that the rest of the day? I got to look at that all day.
Do you have a hard time taking me seriously, Dave?
Yes, I do. And I have for how many years we've been doing this.
I mean, curl. I do like the kids do. I'll flatten it. Go old school.
See, I mean, look. See?
Oh, yeah. Rock it to the back. Griffey style.
I remember talking to Tim Corbett when Vanderbilt was one of the first teams to bust out the flat the flat bill
Yeah.
cap a long time ago. I can't remember how long ago it was. Pedro Alvarez was playing for Vanderbilt. And Tim Corbin said that it was Pedro that kind of wanted that hat, that version hat. And he was like, Pedro wants to wear this hat. We're going to wear this hat.
Yeah, that's right.
And the flat bill took over.
Hit enough homers, you can pick the bill of your cap.
There's a strike to Peyton Holt.
Like my man Chris Simonis once said, I play favorites. My favorites are the guys that drive in runs.
Yeah,
Those are my favorites.
runner goes, throw down to second. It's strike three, doesn't matter anyway. The inning is over. So Ty Good freezes Holt at the plate. A walk, a single, and an RBI, and a homer in the 5th inning just today. Boy, his trigger, whatever that. I mean, look where. I mean, I don't see many guys.
Well, again,
with
it's like I said last time. It's almost like he gets his body in the exact opposite position of where he wants to land. You see, watch, the knob's going to go down, the chest is going to get over his knees. So it's about as vertical as he could possibly stand.
Yeah.
And then he's going to change. He's going to change all those moves on his way to get ready. And, you know, I think that's just what triggers him to get into the hitting position he's trying to achieve. Because all that really matters is where are you when your foot lands. Some people like to keep everything simple, and I'm not saying that's wrong.
Yeah.
But something tells me if you ask Cole Messina to get in a more traditional stance, spread out, and minimize his movement, that would be more uncomfortable to him than having, you know, the freedom to move the way that gets him in the best hitter's position.
Boy, called strike three. He didn't like it. He thought that pitch was out. He is having a chat with Scott Klein behind the plate. Mark Kingston comes out to kind of make sure Cole Messina doesn't get ejected from this one in this next game.
And Cole knows what he believes he's been getting and what he hasn't. That's the old make sure you give that to us on the other side. Scott Klein, you know, good for Scott for not overreacting there, but he gave it back to him. Made sure he knew he's not going to put up with it.
Launched out to second, knocked down there by Stovall, and safe at first. Parker Nolan will reach.
So this is a tough chance. Sometimes at second base you do have to kind of turn into a catcher. This ball just centers him up, and he tries to kind of bear hug it, and he would have had him, right? If the ball lands softly right in front of him, he picks it up and throws him out, but he doesn't recover it initially. The ball kicks kind of off his leg and off to the right, and from there, Nolan just too fast for Stovall to finish the playoff, but I appreciate his willingness to get in front of that baseball for his team. We're going to E4 there? It feels rough.
Well, that one sails up in the zone. Will Tippett's first at-bat today came into play, a little shortstop.
That thing's nasty, man. 91-mile-an-hour cutter right on the edge.
That's got some serious break to it.
Whew. Man, that's what he got Messina on. Of course, Messina looking. Now Tippett swinging. It's interesting that Mark Kingston went to his defensive lineup this early, getting Tippett an extra AB, but man, there's not a whole lot you can do with that thing. Just try to fight it off as that thing takes a left turn as it gets to home plate.
Here's Dalton Reeves, 0 for 2 today. Dalton's average at 293. Brings 10 home runs to the plate and 30 runs batted in. Fouled straight back. Due up for Arkansas is Ross Lovich, Kendall Diggs, and Peyton Stovall. 9, 1, and 2 as we're getting late. Runner goes, throw down, not in time. A stolen base for Parker Nolan, his 5th of the year.
Yeah, man. South Carolina coaching staff again decided to go defense for offense, but now in an inning where Kennedy Jones didn't get his last at bat, they got a chance to score a run here with an error and a stolen base.
Popped him up. Hudson White. And that'll do it for South Carolina. They will leave a runner. Pinch hitter at the plate for Arkansas as they pull Will Edmondson off the bench, the junior out of Luther, Oklahoma. Hitting .235 on the year with a homer and 10 runs batted in. Hitting for Ross Lovich in the 9-hole for the Hogs. Well, that's a big old breaker. Don't see many of those type breaking balls anymore.
Arkansas again going to a right-hander to face Good, believing in that matchup.
I just wondered, pitching is so good for Arkansas, and that overcomes a lot of your issues. But you just wonder, like, the offense for Arkansas in the postseason, it's got to click up a tick, you would think, if they want to have some success, if they want to get back to Omaha. I mean, today they're 3 for 21, a 143 clip today.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, Dave Van Horn even mentioned it, that it feels like they're a little rusty, just not having played since Saturday. That being said, it's an offense that's sputtered throughout the season at times, and you know, I've been saying it for last couple months. It's just an offense that's not going to give their pitching staff a lot of breathing room. Now, they've proven it throughout the year that formula is good enough to win 2 out of 3 on average every weekend in conference play. And the question will be, you know, will they run into a team that's crazy red hot like they did last year in their own home regional, where TCU just came in there and put up a couple football scores.
Looks like Ty Good's going to be all right. Fixing the mound out there. Out to center. Can anybody catch it? No. So Edmondson with his 20th hit of the year.
There's your matchup again. So earlier they went Ryder Helfrich with a runner on third base, and he produced a sacrifice fly to face righty on righty. Here they go with Will Edmondson, and he shoots a ball in the right center field gap. Dave Van Horn pushing the right buttons here with switching out lefties for righties to face the right-handed Ty Good.
Give me more.
So South Carolina getting another bullpen arm up and ready to go. Garrett Gainey, the left-hander, not quite throwing off the mound just yet.
There's that changeup, boy. I think it's nasty. Little front door change piece. We had a little woo pig suey going there, David. Was that our first?
That was the first one. Boy, Diggs lays down the bunt. Is it going to stay fair or foul? It's going to go foul. Oh, my goodness.
Man, that's a heartbreaker there. That was just such a beautiful drag bunt for about 90% of its life, and then it gets to the edge. It just takes the corner. Almost hung in there.
So now 0-2 on Diggs, looking for his first hit today. Boy, smashes it to the right side. They'll hold Edmondson up at second. Boy, LaCroix had to knock that down. Already gotten past him, and now the Hogs got some things working here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 on and nobody out. And Matt Williams comes.
Fastball whiff rate's about 18%. His is 26%. So not a crazy hard thrower, even though the fastball could touch 95, but gets a ton of swing and miss, especially up in the zone from this power left-hander.
Well, he walks into a dicey situation with 2 on, nobody out. South Carolina's lead is 2. And Peyton Stovall comes to the plate, the Arkansas second baseman, 1 for 3 today. That 1 hit was a double. His average at .339. Hitting .350 with runners in scoring position this year.
Nice breaking ball to get ahead in the count, especially when the book says you're leaning on that fastball.
Out to center field. Brenling has to get on his horse. Can he catch up to it? No. He runs into the wall. They're going to wave one runner, and boy, Diggs was right on the heels of Edmondson, who had to hold up. Diggs was on the go. Edmondson was waiting to see if that ball was going to be caught, and Diggs almost caught him coming around third.
Yeah, and I just thought it was world-class third base coaching by Nate Thompson, who directed both players flawlessly so that they didn't end up getting 1 run but running into an out with the next one, as Peyton Stovall gets back-to-back breaking balls, gets down into his legs and just launches this thing into center. And now the fun begins here as Diggs got an earlier read. Watch Nate Thompson. Look, you go, you stay. Great job of being a part of the play there by the Arkansas Razorbacks third base coach. And that's one of those plays that can really get away from you if you're not out in front of it as a third base coach. Watch Thompson at the bottom of your screen. Look, sending one. Now he's going to run with the second one. You put on the brakes. Perfect communication and execution there on the base pass by the Razorbacks.
Fantastic work by Nate Thompson. The value of having that kind of coach at third base.
Probably the most under-practiced thing in youth baseball is just base running in general, and then how important it is for everybody to be on the same page with the communication. And it's plays like that if they don't go the right way can really cost you a ball game.
Because it would have been easy, first of all. Diggs was so close to Edmondson. It would have been easy to send them both.
Just send them, right? But he's watching the throws and trying to decide, do I send one? Do I send neither? Do I send both? And he's got to communicate it all in real time. Like you said, the outs matter there too, because with 1 out, 2 outs, he probably sends them both. With nobody out, he's going to play it safe.
Hudson White looking for his first hit. And he'll stroll down to first base with a walk, and they are now loaded. I just don't see a whole lot of walks from Garrett Gainey. That is just the 7th he's issued in 44 innings of work this year.
We talked about it. Like, it's a power arm that throws a ton of strikes. Yet he goes in there and throws some wide ones to Hudson White. Now he's got his hands full.
Ben McLaughlin, a single, walked and popped up. Lifted in the air, down the line. Petrie on the run, makes a diving catch. That'll get a run home as Diggs tags up. Did he not? He didn't catch that, apparently. Wait, what? Oh, he did catch. I'm sorry. Bases were loaded. My bad. Yes, he did catch it.
Okay.
I was just watching the runner at first, and I had a little lapse there. It was a heck of a catch out there by Petrie.
I mean, you talk about full extension. Look how far he runs to get to this ball that would have landed fair. By the time he finishes momentum, he's a good 2 yards. Look at that. He ends up 6-7 feet. This ball would have landed fair and been a bases clearing double if he doesn't make that catch. Full extension down the line. Wow.
But we're tied at 4, so it goes as a sacrifice fly. And now Aloy with a chance to give Arkansas the lead. Only 1 out in the inning. But we have seen some defensive gems here in this tournament in the first day and a half.
Incredible. And, you know, we talk about that Arkansas offense. Here they are again, right? They make their runs. It's certainly not the most explosive offense, but situational hitting, taking advantage of free bases.
He did go. That's strike 2 on Aloy. Aloy's looking for his first hit. Arkansas now with 6 hits in this game, and 4 of them have been this inning. This is getting kind of dicey for South Carolina now.
Yeah, and that's a rough at bat there from Aloy, who just punched out each of his last 2 at bats and looked in between the entire time. Dave Van Horn not real pleased with his shortstop. He had a few words for Valiva on his way back in there. Not real happy with that at bat, it didn't look like.
But now you leave it to Jared Sprague-Lott, who's 1 for 3. Arkansas third baseman. If you're Aloy at that at bat, what do you? I mean, you're just trying to get the ball in the air.
Absolutely.
That one's in the air, but right at Brett Jackson, who makes the catch. Arkansas, though, picks up 2 runs. A sub-2 ERA for Gabe Gackel.
Average fastball velocity, 96 miles an hour for the Arkansas freshman. One of the best freshman arms in America, not just from the arm talent standpoint, but production as well.
We'll face Talmadge Lecroy, who's 0 for 3 today at the plate. Talmadge hitting 8th in the lineup, and it's Gavin Casas and then Austin Brinling. Opponent's only hitting 148 against Gackel. Hasn't given up any home runs this year. And what's amounted to almost 38 innings of work. Slice foul into the neck. I've had a chance to watch Gackel pitch a few occasions this year, and the thing that just jumps at me is he just seems to be one of these also like calm, cool, and collected guys. Pop that one up, that'll be out of play. Like not overwhelmed by the moment for a freshman.
No, and there's no way you could put up the year that he has without being a steady heartbeat guy. Now think about this, in a league where it's never been as talented, never been older.
You're right.
You got a 19, 20, I don't know how old he is. He's a freshman. In league play, a 1.59 ERA, 13 hits in 22 and 2/3 innings. Like that is dominant stuff.
And he can add another strikeout to his total. 49 on the year now for Gabe Gackel.
And regardless of what age you are, that's dominant stuff. But to come in there and perform at this level against such an older league, and there you go right there. That's a fastball that has some real finish to it because it is pretty much middle on the inner third part of the plate. And that is just right past Lee Coy.
Now he's trying to throw it past Gavin Casas. Gavin's 1 for 3 today.
Well, he can pull the string on a changeup too. His changeup actually has its highest whiff rate, which is really rare for a young fireballer. There's another one right there. Like usually guys come in out of high school with gas, and it's maybe they can spin a breaking ball, but Gackle comes in out of the bullpen with 3+ pitches and elite velocity. I mean, you talk about a rare combination for a freshman reliever. Would not surprise me if he slides into that #1 spot for Hagen Smith next year for the Hogs.
He was drafted in the 20th round, the last round of the draft last year by the Reds. Obviously, he was one of those guys that had a number, and
Yeah.
Reds just thought they might take a chance. Boy, how nasty is that?
I mean, again, this is a
Golly.
right-handed fireballer who faces a lefty and just has no problem turning over a changeup. The depth and the run on that thing is so advanced. That is a great look there at the two-seam action on that circle changeup from Gackle.
What a get by this Arkansas staff to pull him out of California. I mean, he was ranked as a #2 right-handed pitcher coming out of California. #10 right-handed pitcher overall nationally.
What's a big part of the college baseball storyline right now? How many of the most talented players from the West Coast are coming east to play their college baseball?
Ground ball. Diving stop there by Stovall, but no play can be made. And Austin Brenling reaches with 2 outs.
Third time on base today for Brenling, who also had a bullet line out. Doing a nice job for the Gamecocks in the leadoff spot since taking over that spot in the lineup.
Just thinking about Brenling over there at first base. You didn't see it yesterday, but he got hit right in the helmet, right where the kind of near the temple. The ball caught, luckily, most of the helmet, but he was on the ground for a couple of minutes, got up, shook it all off, and kept playing. Nice little bounce back game for him today.
Yeah, you just never know when you're taking balls that part of the body, but fortunately, no problem bouncing back today as Petrie 1 for 4 with a single, 3 punch outs. Be interesting to follow Ethan Petrie next year. He's got 69 strikeouts on the season and 200 at bats.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 35% there if my math serves me.
3-1 now on Petrie. Hitting .305. Of course, those 21 home runs, pretty loud.
There's plenty of power there. Just got to cut down on the swing and miss. .31. Was that a right-on-right changeup? 87 miles an hour? I mean, that was disgusting. If you want to know what they think of Ethan Petrie, how about that pitch on 3-1?
You throw it 3-1, do you throw it 3-2?
I mean, it's certainly in his mind.
And there's a balk. Called by our home plate umpire, Scott Klein. So now you get the go-ahead run out in scoring position, but a 3-2 count. And Gackle will strike out the side, gives up the hit to Brennan.
For questioning my competitive spirit earlier today.
Yeah, let me say this. That was not on us.
Wait.
We showed video of Alyssa trying to score with a soccer ball,
Yeah.
and she quit on it because she didn't score, but she tells us that she did score, but she didn't want to do it again. That's why she left, but she'd already accomplished her goal. So apologies from the guys in the truck, because that's what they showed us. It's going to be hard for Burke and I to really apologize for that because we didn't know.
I mean, do we have the evidence that you didn't make it? I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but okay.
Jared!
I mean, was there somebody
right
with
here.
you? I mean, can we?
Yeah.
Jared, what did it go down?
I'm just here to have fun, man. I just had a good time, man. I don't, I don't really know,
that's
man.
it.
Oh, come on, Jared. Don't do that. Don't
All
do
right,
that.
let's see. Does it there? Let's see. Did it?
Oh, you
see,
can't even see
you
it.
can't hide talent,
Okay.
It
Alyssa.
came right back out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, listen. You know
I
what? I
believe
will
you.
apologize. You didn't deserve that. That was a shot earlier in the
Thank
day,
you.
and we're just going to
Thank you.
apologize and move on. Okay? Okay, we're good.
Jared, you got to take a stand.
Yeah, I know. That's Jared. Come on, buddy. Be better than that.
Man, we got a great ball game going, I tell you that.
Alyssa's an athlete. Don't mess with her.
Yeah.
There's a strikeout from Gainey. So we got two really good arms on the mound right now for their respective clubs.
Yeah, you got two of the best that both teams have to offer out of the bullpen here. Runs will be at a premium. That's why that at bat from Malloy from last inning could sting for the Razorbacks, where they needed their leading RBI guy to move the baseball, and he goes fishing on a couple of balls out of the zone.
Peyton Holt with one out. First pitch fouls that off. Boy, that ran up on him. Nice grab in the dugout. Well done. Good flow, too.
And he worked hard for that.
For the ball or the flow?
Both. Yeah.
That one's fouled straight back. 2 strikes on Peyton Holt. Peyton hitting .306 now. Hitting 8th in this lineup. Fouls that one off.
Napping and then trying to score after he had already balked at it. And even though this at bat doesn't go Peyton Holt's way, those are two of the headiest plays you will ever see on a baseball field. The one play from second base you see from time to time. The play in center field and the way he pump faked the catch is as unique a play as I've seen in that kind of genre of deeks that we say in baseball, meaning a kind of a decoy of you're trying to trick the base runner, and that was some heady stuff from the Razorback center fielder.
Just the mindset to pull that off in
the
real
moment.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's interesting, I need to grab him and ask him this week, is the instinct to come up and throw it to third. Was his thought that Donet probably would have just gone, and so he would have been doubling him off? Like, why third? Was he thinking about the guy that, because there was somebody on second in that play too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on
Yeah.
there. Do you have to kind of think through in just fractions of a second?
Because if he throws it home, yes, he prevented the sac fly, but
There's
he didn't
no
get the
out.
double play. Right.
And it got him off the field in a huge situation, too. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's like just to think of that in that moment.
Yeah. And we talk about Florida being on the bubble. That's a tie game.
Yeah.
At the time, I think Arkansas was number 1.
Right.
You're on
Yep.
the road, and they end up losing by 1. Florida did.
Oof.
Oof. And they won the game in that series.
2-1 to Edmondson, who got that rally started last inning. Lifts this one in the air. It is a little blooper and a running catch out there by Brett Jackson. Out of his batting gloves was an all-timer.
No, it really was.
He even like held it out.
Yeah, to show
So,
everybody.
right,
I didn't just run to first with my
All right. Here's Blake Jackson. Start things off. He's behind 0-1 on Gabe Gackle. And he just got hit by a pitch.
See if Arkansas questions that. Scott Klein motion. That ball was way into the batter's box, which it was.
I don't see that first move toward the ball there.
I think
as
it
we
was
saw
more
earlier.
down, not as much out with the right arm.
Cole Messina now with a runner on. Cole has been on a tear here in the tournament. High in the air, out to center field.
No way.
Deep to center. It is out of here, and that heater continues. South Carolina has taken the lead 6-4. That is the first home run allowed by Gabe Gackle this year.
You have got to be kidding me. Back-to-back 419-foot home runs for the Carolina backstop. Excuse me, there was a bat in between, but are you kidding me? A pair of them? Both times, Jackson was hit by a pitch before as well. 2 homers, 4 ribbies.
And reach base 4 times.
Is that any good?
Wow. Cole Messina now with 19 homers, 59 RBIs. Excuse me, 60 RBIs now. He's 6 for 8, 3 homers and 8 ribbies in the tournament. Here's a ground ball. Aloy fields, throws. There's the first out of the inning. And he did it off Gabe Gackle.
And a breaking ball. It's a breaking ball. It's a first pitch breaking ball. You see him kind of put on the brakes as his left foot lands, and you know the bench is going to lose it after that. Blake Jackson all fired up. Don't need to run now. Veach is losing it. Eli Jones is out there. You think this tournament doesn't matter to these players? Are you kidding me?
Will Tippett with 1 out.
Tommy Tanks told us that breaking balls are supposed to go out to left, but Cole Messina's like, no, I can go central with the breaking ball.
Tommy White, fastballs to right, breaking balls to left.
That's right.
Cole
Easy
Messina, breaking balls to center.
That's it.
The wind is blowing out to center field right now, and of course Cole Messina hit that up in the jet stream. What was the exit velocity on that? 104?
105-ish, yeah. Yeah, we got pretty steady breeze blowing out right now, but I mean, both of those balls that Messina hit were absolutely compressed.
That just misses. Now it's full at 3-2 to Tippett. A sophomore out of Atlanta, went to St. Pius High School. And he draws a walk.
So first pitch, you go up there against a strikeout guy like Gackle, you have to be ready to hit. Messina, watch him load and sit. And that's a breaking ball that just doesn't do a ton, but it's a first pitch breaking ball. Gackle's just trying to get ahead on the outside edge, and Messina sees it and stays through it, gets it up in that jet stream, and man, what a monster swing of the bat for South Carolina. Is, man, to win a deal like this, to come out of nowhere and make a run in a deal like this, your stars have got to show up. And on a day where Ethan Petrie hasn't had his best afternoon, Cole Messina has done the heavy lifting. Whew. A few more weeks like this.
Dalton Reeves 0 for 3. Ground ball left side. Well done. They had Tippett in motion, and Reeves just guided it through that 6-hole.
Love the call right there by Mark Kingston. Meeting at the mound, you know, Matt Hobbs is out there trying to settle down his young right-hander. High likelihood he's going to throw something in the plate, over the plate, and he goes hit and run there with Reeves and Tippett, and this is 2 of these we've seen today. Just perfect left fastball running off the plate, and Reeves just stays on it, shoots it right to where Eloy left.
Is that not
baseball.
the perfect pitch for that situation?
Pitch, no doubt.
Got to execute it, and that's what Reeves accomplished. And now Talmadge LeCroy, he squares up, pulls it back. Ball 1. Well, there hadn't been many settings where Gabe Gackle has been in this type of situation. Now it's 2-0.
Do they keep it on here? Do they take it off? It's like Monty Lee's down there calling the signs, so I got to give him some love for the hit and run. Former Clemson head coach, runs the offense here for South Carolina.
D1 Baseball's projection had this South Carolina team going to the Clemson Regional.
See Monty Lee there on the top step giving the signs.
Popped it up right side. Stovall makes the catch. That'll be the second out of the inning. Monty Lee had been with South Carolina, got a couple of head coaching jobs, and then when he left Clemson a couple of years ago, came back into the South Carolina fold. Seen him out on the road the last few years recruiting. Great baseball mind.
Yes, he is. Frustrating there. You're trying to sack safety, squeeze there, and move a runner home, move a runner over, and you end up trusting your guy to swing the bat and get an infield pop-up.
Gavin Casas 1 for 4 today. Gavin's hit a single back in the 4th inning. A couple of flyouts and a strikeout today as well.
Stay sharp, man. Stay sharp.
Boy, Cole Messina, 6 for 8 in 2 tournament games, with 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in.
He is feeling it, and a really cool headband.
Yeah, and he hadn't smeared his eye black either.
No, it's as fresh as it was in the first. How do you do that catching in 90-degree weather? How does your eye black stay perfect?
Doesn't sweat.
Just that cool?
Right.
Okay.
So 2nd and 3rd now for Gavin Casas. 1-2 count. Out to Eloy, stays down on it. Nicely done. But this day, Kendall Diggs will start things off. Diggs has struck out, flew out, popped up, singled his last time up.
That's
0-2.
That's how you land a breaking ball right there. How about Gary Gainey? The #1 strike percentage in the country. 72.6% strikes.
Hey, the great Kyle Peterson just showed up and he's wearing shoes.
Billy Palladino's esteemed. Kyle's great.
Yeah,
Throwing adjectives just around today, aren't you?
trying to make friends.
Well, his feet are so sunburned, he finally needed to put some shoes on.
Kyle Peterson, Tom Hart will have the 9th session for you. Starts off with Tennessee and Vanderbilt about, what as we close it in on? Well, an hour and 15 from here, but boy, I tell you what, they had Kendall Diggs played perfectly. Tippett was almost almost behind the bag at second and went right to him.
Almost took Gainey's head off. Just a rocket right back up the box. Whoa, watch out. But as you said, perfect positioning by the Gamecock defense. And a big first out here with a 2-run lead in the ninth.
Gainey trying to close this one out. Gainey has gone 2 1/3, 3 strikeouts, giving up just 1 hit. Just off the plate to Peyton Stovall. Peyton has a couple of hits today, including 2 doubles in the 3rd and again in the 7th.
Yeah, he's got it going right now. Really had a nice finish to the season.
Well, it's going to be a tough play. Gainey did not get there in time. I don't know if his momentum carried him too far over to third base, but he was late getting off the mound.
Yeah, it didn't matter that Nolan didn't catch it clean. They were never going to throw Stovall out at first base with the way that Gainey finished across the mound. You watch Gainey here. He kind of falls off and then gets caught spectating a little bit. That'll go as an infield single.
And a 3rd hit for Stovall today. So now the tying run at the plate in the form of Hudson White. Hudson a couple of walks, 0 for 2. Average at 286, 284. He does have 6 home runs. And he looks at a strike. It's 1-1.
That's the one Gainey needs and the one the offense doesn't want to see called, that fastball up in the zone.
Up and in to Hudson White, who was a Big 12 Freshman of the Year back in 2022. Last year hit 11 home runs, so those numbers have dipped a little bit in his first year at Arkansas. Lined and underneath the glove of Talmadge LeCroy. So now the winning run coming to the plate.
Okay. Things are getting real interesting now. A hanging breaking ball that Hudson White did a nice job of staying back on. He rifles it in the 6 hole, and all of a sudden, Arkansas got the game-winning run up to plate.
He is 1 for 2 today. Average at 303. He has 7 home runs. Lays off the fastball up in the zone, 1-0. Two and 0. Gainey just doesn't walk many. 7 total walks in 46 innings of work.
For McLaughlin right here, you got to be sitting dead red. Hard not to think walk-off right here. He and I were aligned.
Right, he was definitely thinking walk-off.
Yeah, fastball pitcher and a fastball count with the wind blowing out.
Line, base hit. Stovall turns the corner. He will score. It's 6-5.
Okay, Razorbacks now with some barrels here in this inning. Consecutive balls hit right on the button, and a fastball out over the plate. McLaughlin shoots it into left center field. Watch the runners freeze here a little bit, making sure that the ball gets past Tippett. You see Stovall was very careful to make sure that ball actually got over Tippett's head. Hudson White froze a little bit too, which kept him from not being able to go to third. And now Loy with another chance here to drive in a run.
Ty Wilmsmeyer will run at first for McLaughlin. Aloy leads the team in home runs. Leads the team in runs batted in. Ahead 1-0. Only one out. Well, we're getting a look at why Arkansas has just been so hard to beat this year.
They just know how to win. I mean, it's hard to encapsulate offensively from a statistical standpoint, but they just figure it out.
Back-to-back hits against Garrett Gainey.
Here you are again. 2-0 count. Winning run on first base now.
Boy, another big cut at 2-0. .50 pitches now for Garrett Gainey. Popped him up. That's going to get to the seats.
Just hit me. Aloy's got a new piece of lumber, so to speak, in his hand, right?
That's right. Broke the other bat.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I've seen him change bats a few times throughout the year, but whatever he does has some swag to it. And that's another pretty one there. The last one was very colorful.
Ground ball to third. Lee Croy. He'll go to second. Nolan trying to turn it. Safe at first.
Kingston's going to ask about the slide at second base, and this could get interesting.
Yeah, you immediately pointed.
Yeah.
What did you see that made you?
He went through on the through side of the base.
After further replay, the call of second base, no forced play slide rule will stand. The call of first base, safe, is confirmed.
So it will stand.
That is one challenge.
It will
South
stand.
Carolina still has one challenge left.
That's called on the field. So runners at the corners and 2 outs.
So stand and confirmed, which is just interesting. But either way, Arkansas gets another crack at it here with 2 outs.
I think with the slide, either you slide legally or you don't. Regardless, Jared Sprague-Lott steps in. 7 homers and 24 runs batted in. He has a hit today. Hit in the air. Brendling a long run. He'll make the catch. And South Carolina holds on by their fingernails. They win it 6-5. Arkansas
Yeah, I think it was important. I think we've talked about it all week, all the teams here, about we all kind of think we're already in the NCAA tournament because of the resumes, but we ended the season on a little bit of a lull and played some great teams, and so it was just important to get a win and get that good mojo going again. I think that's really important for the psyche of a team.
King, we talked about a little bit earlier in the broadcast how you went kind of offense for defense at some spots, and it's actually turned out very well. I mean, maybe a little surprisingly so on the defensive side, but has that allowed you to add some extra hitters? What goes into a decision behind that from an analytical standpoint?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, Chris. Obviously, who do you have on the mound, and are they a ground ball pitcher? Are they a fly ball pitcher? Who are you facing that day? Left, is it a ride guy? Is it a sink guy? Do you want to go lefty? Do you want to go righty? At the end of the day, it's about run prevention and run creation, and you just have to try to find the best formula on that day to give yourself your best chance to win.
Coach, yesterday we saw Chris Veach come out of the bullpen. I know he's right there next to you. I mean, it was as nasty a changeup as I have seen in a long time. What was it like from your perspective to watch him kind of mow him down yesterday?
Well, it was very important for us. Obviously, it was very important for us, and he gave us his best outing of the year on a really big stage at a really big time. The plan for him was to get him in there for 2 innings, maybe 3, 6 to 9 outs. But when you're pitching that well and you're cruising, you got to give the guy a chance and let him keep going. And he gave it to us all the way at the end of it, all the way to complete the game, and that was huge for us.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch him pitch. Listen, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Go back to business. Thanks for joining us as always. Good luck rest of the way.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
King.
There he is, Chris Veach, doing his thing. Now helping his teammates out. And a 3-2 pitch off the mark. And that'll be a leadoff walk.
A little glimpse into the skipper's mindset on filling out his lineup card, and people think, I don't know, let's try this order. Like, no, there's a little more to it than that, especially with the defensive side of things. Because if you like he said, if you got a guy on the mound, I think LSU did this a lot last year when.
Well, they're going to go to second. Actually, it's going to go out to center field. They had a double play ball right back to Eli Jones, and now they're at the corners first and third. What a break for Arkansas with nobody out.
So normally in a situation like this, the shortstop would be covering on a ball back to the mound. But you'll see here, Parker Nolan is going to be the guy covering. And Eli Jones looks to the base like he's expecting LeCroy to be there. And instead, Nolan is the one that comes. And